screen visible now, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
So today we'll talk about what is called as organization. So organization is nothing but how a particular work is being done in the particular organization. So the organization can be a business firm or a company or whatever it is. So this particular term organization is derived from the term organism. So here it is nothing but it is with respect to related to or that is we have a different structure. So in organization we have different structures, and how do we what to say, how do we connect or relate. So there is a relativity and connectivity of both the organization structures. So how do we do it? That is called as organization. So we know in organization we have a manpower, machine is there, material is there, money is involved is there, and how do we do it? So all these things are being interrelated and intercollaborated into interdependent parts. That is called as organization. So there are a lot of definitions which we have with the organization is concerned. So first we'll talk about the definition. Organization structure refers to the differentiation and integration. So as I told you, it is with respect to integration of activities and authority, roles and relationship in the organization. So another definition which is given by Chester I. Bernard, it is an organization is a system of consciously coordinating. So we are trying to coordinate the activities in order to achieve the goal of the organization. That is called as organization. The next one is according to Kuhn's ordinal organization structure here. So this structure is nothing but it is an establishment of authority. How the flow of authority is there in an organization. It shows us the relationship between the authority, and it tries to have coordination. So there is a coordination in the process of structure of organization with respect to vertical and horizontally. And there is another definition given by George Terry. So here George Terry refers to organization, that is the term organizing is establishing an effective behavior relationship. So here the more emphasis on the behavior, the attitude. So when we try to interrelate, we are trying to interrelate the manpower. So the manpower is purely depend upon the particular individual, his behavior attitude. Then we are trying to bring out everything work in a better way, so that we bring every work in an efficient way and try to gain satisfaction. So when you're doing some task, so we have to attain some personal satisfaction. So everybody has their own personal satisfaction, and we are trying to do the work in order to achieve the result what we want. And it is under the environmental condition. So the environment condition is already known for us, and the main thing, why do we try to bring a relationship and we work more together, and in order to make work more effective we have our own satisfaction and we gain such satisfaction. So when we do all these things in a selected environment, in a selected task, that way we try to achieve the goals of the organization. So some goals or objective that is being attained. Next one is importance of organization. As we know, organization is purely dependent upon the, as I told you, manpower, machine power, material power, and the method. How do we do it? So the importance. Why do we have a organization? The first important, as I told you, is it helps to go for achievement. So we try to have achievement. That is, we want to achieve the goal. So in order to achieve the goal, we want to coordinate the work. So in order to coordinate the work, what is to be done in the organization? We are bringing the interrelated activity to the group, and we try to achieve the personal satisfaction and also the organization satisfaction. So it helps in administration of the organization. So when we want to have a smooth flow in an organization, we have to have a better administration. So in other way, we can say administration helps us to attain the organization in a better way. So organization in turn tries to help the flow of work in a proper way. So it tries us to understand the hierarchy. the vertical hierarchy and the horizontal hierarchy. It tries to correlate the organization work. So it is very, very helpful in achieving the better administration. Then regarding the diversification and growth, as we know, it is you bringing in coordination, unity in the work in the particular given environment. So there are more possibility for growth and diversification, and it is very, very helpful for easy coordination of the work. So all this related work are being divided into sub work, and each sub work is being interdependent on each other. So there is a flow of proper authority and understanding how this authority is flowing. So when we have an authority understanding about the flow of authority and responsibility, it is very easy to understand the structure. Then there is a more possibility of better coordination. Then regarding the training and development, as we know, every organization always focuses on training and development of the personnel. So there is a need for understanding when there is a need, how to train, what are the training methods available, how to give the training to the better of the personnel who are working in the organization. So that is also there in the understanding the organization. Then it encourages initiative. So there is a need for encouraging initiative. So initiative here refers to when there is a idea like what to do or how that particular idea has to reach. So we have somebody has to move it out. So somebody has to encourage. So in order to achieve the goal, there is a need for encouraging the initiatives, whatever is done by the at the top level or at the workers level or the employees level. Then it has a better human relation. So as I told you, machine, if there is a difference in having how to handle the machinery or the material or the manpower. So manpower, as we know, they're a human force which is involved. So they have their personal opinion, they have their personal satisfaction, they have their personal relation and personal attitude. So it is very, very helpful in order to attain the better human resources than communication. So communication is very, very important in any organization. So when we know the structure and flow, it is very easy to understand the communication. Then job satisfaction. So when a particular person is not satisfied with the particular job, then there will be attrition. So already we have discussed about attrition well in advance. So this job satisfaction is very, very important. So that is what is given in the definition also. The individual satisfaction, what a person attains. The personal satisfaction. So everybody wants to have a better satisfaction in order to achieve the org structure. So when we have a better structure or when a particular individual who is in working in an organization is having more love for his job. That's why given it I love my job. So when he has a height to grow, so there is a growth possibility and he tries to grow. That is there is a future prospects of growing. That gives a job satisfaction. Then creative thinking. So how do we bring in creative thinking in the development of the organization? So these are the importance of organization. Then regarding the importance, and there is as we have discussed already, there is it tries to bring down the resources. So the desired resources. Already we talk about material. So it is material is resources which is available in order to achieve the goal. So we have to bring together all the resources. So resources can be material or the machine or the manpower. So all these resources are to be put together or brought together in order to achieve the result. So the desired results is already set. So that is the set goals. So the mission and vision has been already set and we have to achieve. So that is the outcome. What is the result? What we get out of this? Bringing in the all the resources together in order to achieve success of the organization. Produce goods and services efficiently. So we know any organization is focusing on goods or services or both. So they have to handle them in a proper way and they have to produce and provide them in an efficiently way. So the efficiency of the organization purely depends upon how they supply the commodity in the market. So next one is facilitating innovation. That's what we taught. Creative thinking and trying to move out initiators there is a need for innovation. So every aspect has to be looked in a different angle so that there is innovation. That innovation can motivate the employees. Then we can use modern manufacturing information technology. Nowadays, there are a lot of new technologies which is coming in, and when we try to use such technologies, we have to make our manpower well versed in such technologies. So for that also we can give them training so that they can know how the particular new machinery, if it is being installed, they can know how the particular machinery is being used in the organization. Then the utility of the information technology, in case if there is any change in the environment, the particular workforce or the organization should be able to adopt and influence. That is a very importance of the organization. So there should be a route for adoption, or there should be a chance for changing the environment and creating value for the owners. So these people are called as the stakeholders, the owners, customers, and the employees. Then we have to accommodate. As we know, there are a lot of chances for challenges. Like for example, we know what is called as SWOT. So strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So we have to look into the opportunities what are there, and we have to think about the threats and the challenges what the organization has with respect to ethics, motivating, and coordination of the employees. So this is very very important, and importance of organization is important for the organization. Then regarding the nature of organization, so as far as the nature of organization, how the organization should be, so they have to have a common goal, that is very important. Then there should be a division of labor. Then talking about the authority and responsibility, that is the authority structure. Then group, then communication. Then as we talked about coordination, environment, and we have to have some rules or regulations for the functioning of the organization. When it comes to the unity of command, no member of organization should report to. So this is very very important principle of management which focuses on, that is when there is a more than one person, employee should report to a superior. Then there will be a lot of clashes of command and clashes of workforce, and he does not know what to do. So in such case, there is a more emphasis, that is one of the important principle of management is unity of command. So no member of organization should report to more than one superior. So this will prevent conflicting demands and priorities. So there cannot be, because if he has a two superior, then superior one, superior two, then there will be conflict of demands. To whom you should report first, whose work you have to look into first. So these type of conflicts may arise, and the employee may not know to whom he has to go for prioritization. Then regarding the authority, so as we know, there are a series of a structure of grading the positions in the organization. So this arrangement of authority is in order to create a series of superior and subordinate relationship. That is the chain of a structure. So this authority and responsibility tries to define the positions. So what are the positions held by the particular person in the organization. So as we know, authority is the right a particular employee enjoys. So he has got the inherent right to give orders and be obeyed. Same way, he is also required to coordinate. So whatever activity is done in order to achieve the goal of the organization, all these activities are to be coordinated, and that can be delegated to his subordinates in order to have a better functioning, that is a proper functioning of the organization. So we try to focus on authority and responsibility. So we know authority is a right which an employee enjoys in order to give order or achieve the goals of the organization. Same way, responsibility is for what all the person who has got the authority is responsible for. So that is also going to be specified. So whenever there is an authority, that should go with the responsibility. Here, the responsibility which comes with authority is in turn subdivided into two. So one is operating responsibility and second one is ultimate responsibility. So as we know, operating responsibility can be delegated to subordinate. So that can be given to another person. So if he is going to do, and if he's not in a position to do, then he can give. This is with respect to operating responsibility. But ultimate responsibility is only he has a particular responsibility, and he cannot be delegated because he is the sole person who has got the authority and responsibility. So that is always with respect to accountability. So authority and responsibility is a combination which goes with accountability. So to whom he is accountable? So who is accountable? So person one who is accountable is having the ultimate responsibility. So he is made ultimate responsibility for the actions or omissions, whatever is done as a subordinate to his subordinate. So when we try to understand the nature, we should be very specific about the unity of command. That is authority and responsibility, then the operating and ultimate responsibility. And when it comes to ultimate responsibility, that cannot be delegated. So no one can delegate his ultimate responsibility because he is accountable for it. Then we talk about the communication. That is communication. So there is a, whenever we talk about nature of organization, there should be a free flow of communication. So communication can be from upward or downward or horizontal or vertical, whatever it is. There should not be any restrictions to the flow of communication. So communication should always move from, there should be a free flow, and then it can move from different channels. So that is with respect to different departments. So when there is a free flow of communication, that is very much essential. And mostly when it comes to authority and responsibility, we have to focus on the written communication. So that is with respect to communication. Then regarding coordination, as already discussed, coordination tries to have a diverse effects of various functional departments. So in organization, we have different functions. For example, we have a production, that is purchasing, then product producing, the maintenance, then regarding the sales, distribution, marketing. So all these sales is connected, production is connected to sales, and sales is connected to distribution, and distribution is connected to market. So there is an interlink between each department. So in such case, there is a need for much coordination in the organization. Then when we talk about coordination, we try to have identify the groups. So these groups is nothing but which constitute the dynamic. So as far as the group is concerned, there will be groups in the organization. So all these groups are like, for example, we have various groups in various departments. So all these groups will be a part of this organization. They are acting as a dynamic element of the organization. So this is with respect to the purpose of organization. Why do we have organization? So what is the purpose of organization? So that is very, very important. We have a common purpose. So an organization should have a clear vision or a mission that is easily understandable and easily manageable. Then they try to coordinate the effort. So they have to focus on the effort coordination. So the organization, whenever any work is being done, it is very, very essential. They try to coordinate the work. So as we told about the communication or coordination, that is groups, each one has to come together and they have to bring on all the resources together. So in order to achieve maximum profit, you have to use the maximizing the resources. Then regarding specialization, then the hierarchy of authority. So these are the important purpose why do we have organization. So this, that is in turn given into a simpler form to understand. We try to divide the work. So that is called as a concept called as division of work as a one of the main principle of management. So we have to divide the work. So how the work is being divided based on the functional nature or based on the groups, there is a division of work. So work is being divided and it is in turn classified into specific jobs or specific departments. So the nature of work in one department will be totally different in the other department. So we try to group the activity or the group the work to be done in a specific job or departments. So we, that is based on the job roles. So we specify based on the job roles, we give them the work what to be done. then trying to give them work. So that is with respect to assigning task. So what are the tasks to be done? So what is the work he has to do? And while he's doing that particular work, what is his responsibility associated with? So as far as the authority is concerned, as I told you, when work is assigned, there is a responsibility which is attached with the work assigned. So when a task is being assigned, the responsibility is also going with the authority. So that is with respect to individual jobs. So each individual, when he is doing a work, he is given the authority to do one. Then his responsibility and accountability is being attached to the individual jobs. It brings in coordination in diverse organizational tasks. So there is a chance for giving more diversification in the particular organization. So in each diversification work also should be a coordination. So we have the classification, or we try to divide the work, and even the work is being divided, the whole work has to be coordinated in order to achieve the organizations. Then clusters into units. So we know what is clusters is nothing but groups which are being formed. So all these cluster jobs are being brought into units so that it is very easy for to in order to have organizing. Then we have to have a formal lines of authority. As I already told you, the flow of authority, the formal authority. So authority is very much formal, and we have to have a flow of authority. So the line structure, so the formal lines of authority, then we have to allocate and deploy organization resources. So we should know how much to be allocated and how much to be deployed, the organization resources. So the resources here refers to all the resources: manpower resources, material resources, and the machine resources. Now, the nature and purpose of organization. So, the main nature of organization is this is with respect to specialization and division of work. So, there is a need for understanding the specialization. So, based on the job roles, so we specify a particular person as a finance manager. So, that particular person, finance manager, will be well versed in finance. So, he knows how to handle finance. So that is very important. How to control the finance, that is one part of the organization. So specialization, based on the specialization, we have to have the division of work. So the main philosophy of this organization is based on the how do we have specialization, and based on the specialization only we have to go for division of work. So this division of work is nothing but is trying to assign responsibility for each organizational component. So this is with respect to job roles. So what is this job role, or what is this job cadre, or what is the name of the job? So that is very important. So that is with respect to specialization and division of work. And we try to assign the responsibility for each organizational component to a specific individual or a group. So it is assigned to a specific individual or a group also. So that will give a specialization, that particular specialization. So he is in charge for finance. In such case, that particular individual will try to focus more on how to control the cost. So how to pay the payroll. So all these things, how to go for reordering the material. So what is the time period? All these things he will look into. So as a finance person, he has to have all this. So he has been expert in the particular role. So specialization and division of work can be done or assigned in the organization only based on their specialization and their expertise. So in which field they are expert, if that particular person can be designated to that particular field or that particular position. That is with respect to division of work. Then regarding achieving the goals, as I told you, all the activity is only towards the achieving the goals of the organization. So personal satisfaction is related to the organizational satisfaction. So once the organization satisfaction is attained, naturally the personal satisfaction will also be attained. So there is the purpose and objective behind it. So the main function is to employ the manpower in order to achieve the overall goal of the organization. This organization tries to harmonize, bring down all the individual goals of the employees with the overall objectives of the firm. So, as we know, when the particular organization is having better profit, then they will give more to the employees in the form of bonus or the share, profit share, the uh, profit share, the turnover. So the organization goal is related to the individual goal, and the individual goal is related to the organization goal. So there is an orientation towards the achievement of the goals. Then, as far as the group is concerned, that is a composition of individuals. So, as I told you, there can be specialization groups or individual groups. So, this individual form a group. So, these groups are formed by individuals, and these groups are into departments. So, as I told you, the sales department looks into the sales forecast, and they also sometimes look into marketing together, or they also involved in research and development. So, in further, what are the changes needed? So, based on the taste and preferences of the customers, what are the changes happening? So, there is a need for research and development department in order to make changes in our own product. So composition of individual and groups. Then continuity. This continuity is the relationship with which they work together. So there should be continuity in order to achieve the goal. So there is a goal fixed, and all the organization tries to achieve the goals of that particular organization. So this relationship does not come until the organization, we know organization is a never ending process. So until they complete the task, that does not come to the end. So this relationship does not come to end even after completing the task, because it's an ongoing process. So organization, we work, and there is a lot of goals to achieve. So that is a continuous, and it is a never ending process. Then regarding the purpose of organization, already highlighted on, it helps to achieve organization goals. So how this organization goal is achieved is by fixing the overall objectives and focusing on. So the individual focuses on the attainment of the organization. So we try to focus more on the attention of individual objectives in order to achieve the overall objective. So individual objective is also towards focusing on the overall objective of the organization. Then optimum use of resources. So optimum use of resources is to make optimum use of resources. So there is a manpower, material power, money power, machine power, and method. So it is designed in an organization in such a way we use up all the resources which is available in the organization in a better way. So it is very much essential we focus on the use of resources. So when we have a better optimum use of resources, that is what is essential for the growth of the objective, growth of the organization. So we try to achieve that through the optimum use of resources. And regarding the work, so we have a concept called as a right pen, that is specialization. So when we try to identify the job role, so right man should be given the work. So work should be divided in such a way the person, one who is having specialization, one who is having expertise knowledge in the particular field, that particular person has to be given that particular job role. So there is a connectivity between use of resources. So the manpower resources should be allocated in such a way a person, one who is having a well-versed knowledge or expertise knowledge in the particular field, that particular job has to be assigned to him. So this will try to reduce the wastage of the resources in the organization. Then all the main functions of organization are being performed only through the help of organization. So planning, organizing, staffing, recruiting, directing, controlling, and all these functions. So we have the ancillary functions also, like procuring, all these functions. So main functions and the ancillary functions, they are put together in order to achieve the managerial functions, and it tries to facilitate growth and diversification. So a good organization structure, it is very much essential for expanding. So as we know, diversification is a very important task in an organization which always focuses on expanding business activity. So when we try to focus on such business activity, that structure will determine the input resources. So what are the resources essential for the expansion of the business? So we are going for diversification. So we are now manufacturing a soap. Now you are planned to go for manufacturing soap with also with sanitizer. So in that case, you are trying to expand your business activity. So then you have to have go for more input resources, so which is essential for expansion of the business activity. Similarly, you go for product diversification. So you also sometimes go for switching on to new product line. So when a particular product comes to a saturation level, then you will go for a new product updation. That is new product line. Then human treatment of employees. This is very, very important. Every human being needs a motivation, and they need an appreciation, and they need their own self-actualization. So this organization has to operate in such a way that they always look into the betterment of their employees and must not encourage monotony of work. See, this monotony of work is doing the same job, so that gives sometimes a frustration to the employee. So that will have a must not encourage monotony of work, because he may have a higher degree of specialization. So this particular thing is very, very important. So there should be some change. This is called a job rotation. We have to have some change in the job. That is a difference between specialization and monotony of work. See, when you are doing the same job, sometimes we get a frustration. Why we are doing the same thing? So we want to have some innovations, initiative. So this is all essential in order to have a better treatment of employees. So this organization has to adopt modern concept of systems approach. So this is already we have discussed about the different approaches in management. System approach, which is more focusing on human relations, and we can sometimes discard the traditional productivity and specialization approach also. So with this, we come to the end of this particular topic for discussion.